Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mohammed. I am a level one student at the school campus campus. तो जैसे कि आपको पता है कि मुझे बेहतर नहीं चाहिए जीपीटी के साथ आते तो अब मैं चाहिए जीपीटी के साथ आज का टॉपिक है व्हाट इज द concept of language life and breathing. So let's go start GPT. Hello ChatGPT, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
Okay ChatGPT, my first question is what is the composition of air in Earth's atmosphere?
Sure, the Earth's atmosphere is primarily composed of about 78% nitrogen, around 21% oxygen, and then the remaining 1% is made up of argon, carbon dioxide, neon, and other trace gases. Pretty fascinating mix.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how does air pressure change with altitude?
That's a great question. So as altitude increases, the air pressure decreases. Basically, the higher you go, the fewer air molecules there are, which means less pressure. That's why, for example, at the top of a mountain, the air feels thinner and it's harder to breathe.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is where is the oxygen equivalent of human survival?
Absolutely. Oxygen is crucial for human survival because it's needed for cellular respiration. Our cells use oxygen to produce energy from the food we eat. Without enough oxygen, our organs and tissues can't function properly, and that's why it's so vital for us.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how do plants contribute to the balance gases in the atmosphere?
Great, great question. Plants help balance the atmosphere mainly through photosynthesis. They absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. This process not only helps reduce carbon dioxide levels, but also keeps oxygen levels stable. Plus, plants also help with the water cycle and overall climate regulation.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what causes air pollution?
Absolutely. Air pollution refers to the presence of harmful or excessive substances in the air. These can be particles, gases, or biological molecules that can harm human health, ecosystems, and even the climate. Common sources include vehicles, industrial emissions, and burning fossil fuels.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what is the greenhouse effect and how does it relate there?
Sure, the greenhouse effect is a natural process where certain gases in the Earth's atmosphere, like carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor, trap heat from the sun. This helps keep the planet warm enough to support life. However, human activities have increased the concentration of these greenhouse gases, which intensifies the effect and leads to global warming.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what is the great effect weather and climate?
Absolutely. Weather refers to the short-term atmospheric conditions in a specific place, like temperature, humidity, precipitation, and wind on any given day. Climate, on the other hand, is the long-term average of weather patterns over many years, typically 30 years or more. So weather is what's happening right now, and climate is the big picture trend over time.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how do wind pattern affect weather and climate?
Sure, the main difference is that weather describes short-term changes in the atmosphere, like daily or weekly conditions, whereas climate is the average of these conditions over a much longer period, usually decades. In other words, weather can change quickly and is local, while climate is more stable and represents broader patterns over large areas.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what are the main sources of indoor air pollution?
Great question. The main sources of indoor air pollution include things like tobacco smoke, building materials and furnishings that release volatile organic compounds, household cleaning products, cooking fumes, and even biological contaminants like mold and pet dander. Poor ventilation can also make indoor air pollution worse.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how does air quality impact human health?
Absolutely. Poor air quality can have a range of impacts on human health. It can cause respiratory issues like asthma, bronchitis, and other lung diseases. Can also exacerbate heart conditions, reduce lung function, and even lead to long-term health problems. Vulnerable groups like children and the elderly tend to be even more affected.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what is the role of air in sound transmission?
Great question. Air plays a crucial role in sound transmission because sound waves travel through air as vibrations of air molecules. The speed and quality of sound depend on factors like air temperature, humidity, and pressure. Essentially, air acts as the medium that carries sound waves from one point to the other.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what are some ways shades can help improve air quality?
Absolutely. Research can help improve air quality in so many ways. For instance, it can lead to the development of cleaner technologies like electric vehicles or renewable energy sources. It can also help us understand the health impacts of different pollutants, inform better regulations, and improve urban planning to reduce pollution. All of this contributes to healthier environments and better quality of life.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how does defense affect the air we breathe?
Absolutely. The defense sector can impact the air we breathe in several ways. For example, military activities can lead to emissions from vehicles, aircraft, and weapons testing, which can release pollutants. Also, the construction and operation of military bases can affect local air quality. On the flip side, defense research can also contribute to developing cleaner technologies and better environmental practices.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what is smoke and how is it formed?
Great question. Smog is basically a type of air pollution that forms when sunlight reacts with pollutants like nitrogen oxides and volatile organic compounds. It often appears as a hazy layer in the atmosphere, especially in urban areas. Smog can form from both human activities like vehicle emissions and industrial processes and natural sources. It can have serious health effects and environmental impacts.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how does air pollution contribute to global warming?
Absolutely. Air pollution and global warming are closely linked. Many pollutants like carbon dioxide and methane are greenhouse gases that trap heat in the atmosphere, leading to global warming. Additionally, certain air pollutants like black carbon can also contribute to warming. So reducing air pollution can help mitigate climate change and vice versa.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how does air pollution portray create in the world today?
Great question. Air pollution can affect the Earth's weather and climate in a few ways. For example, certain pollutants can influence cloud formation and can even change the amount of sunlight that
Okay,
also.
ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what are the most polluted created in the world today?
As of October 28th, 2025, Lahore in Pakistan is currently the most polluted city in the world with an air quality index of 341. Delhi, India is next with an AQI of 270, and other cities like Karachi and Wuhan also have significant pollution levels.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what technology helps nurture air quality?
There are quite a few technologies that help reduce air pollution. For example, electric vehicles produce zero tailpipe emissions, and renewable energy sources like wind and solar power don't generate air pollutants. Additionally, advancements in industrial technologies like better filtration systems and catalytic converters help cut down emissions. Smart city infrastructure and improved public transportation also play a big role.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice. My next question is how do electric vehicles help reduce air pollution?
Absolutely. Electric vehicles or EVs help reduce air pollution because they don't have tailpipe emissions, meaning they don't release pollutants like nitrogen oxides or particulate matter. This leads to cleaner air, especially in urban areas. Plus, since EVs are often powered by renewable energy, their overall carbon footprint is much lower, which contributes to both improved air quality and reduced climate impact.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer. My next question is how does internet affect the purity of air?
That's a really interesting topic. In general, different regions have unique air compositions due to factors like geography, climate, and human activity. For instance, coastal areas might have fresher, cleaner air due to ocean breezes, while industrial regions can have high levels of pollutants. Also, things like altitude and vegetation can influence the variety of particles in the air.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is where is clean air contract basic human right?
That's a really important question. Clean air is indeed considered a basic human right because it directly impacts our health and well-being. Many international agreements and human rights frameworks recognize the right to a healthy environment. Clean air is essential for preventing diseases and ensuring that people can lead healthy lives. So it's
Okay,
definitely
ChatGPT,
a fun.
listen to me. My next question is how can government enforce clean air policies effectively?
Absolutely. Governments can enforce clean air policies in a bunch of ways. They can set strict emission standards for industries and vehicles, implement regulations to limit pollutants, promote clean energy in public transportation, and invest in monitoring and enforcement. They can also raise public awareness and incentivize businesses and individuals to adopt greener practices. It's all about creating and enforcing comprehensive policies.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how have words used air or wind as symbol and practical.
Absolutely. Air quality is often measured using various instruments like air quality monitors that detect pollutants such as particulate matter, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and ozone. These measurements are then used to determine air quality indices, which give a clear picture of pollution levels. This data helps guide policies and inform the public about air quality.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is what does breathing life into language mean? Metrics.
That's a great question. In general, everyday life and language shape our understanding of the world and how we communicate. For example, the words and phrases we use reflect cultural values, traditions, and even environmental awareness. In terms of air quality, the way we talk about it can influence public perception and behavior. Essentially, language and daily experiences go hand in hand in shaping our understanding and actions.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does repair use in theory of air talk or breathe in this work?
Absolutely. The way we perceive and talk about air quality can definitely influence how we take action. For example, if people understand the health impacts of poor air quality, they're more likely to support and adopt
Okay,
cleaner
ChatGPT.
practices. Similarly,
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does the metaphor of breathe context to creatively?
absolutely. The way we describe and discuss it can people perceive its importance and influence policy and behavior. When we use clear, relatable language and emphasize the health impacts, it encourages people to take action, support environmental regulations, and adopt cleaner habits. In
Okay,
short, the language we
ChatGPT,
use plays a big role in fostering the.
okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how do writers use silence or pause breathe of emotional effects?
That's such an interesting topic. Writers often use vivid and descriptive language to evoke emotions tied to the air we breathe. For instance, they might describe the air as fresh and invigorating to convey a sense of renewal, or they might portray it as heavy and polluted to evoke feelings of despair. This kind of imagery helps readers connect emotionally with the setting and the atmosphere.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how can language itself or compared to air influence and writing?
Absolutely. Language and storytelling can really shape how we perceive air quality and the environment. Through vivid descriptions, metaphors, and narratives, writers can raise awareness, evoke empathy, and inspire action. By weaving air quality issues into compelling stories, language can help readers understand the importance of clean air and motivate positive change.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is in what ways can speech be described as an experience of throat?
Absolutely. In literature, air can be described in so many poetic and sensory ways. For example, it might be depicted as crisp and invigorating, bringing a sense of renewal. It could be heavy and stifling, invoking discomfort and tension. Writers might also use air to symbolize freedom or change, and in other contexts, it can represent something more ominous or oppressive. It's definitely a versatile element in storytelling.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is if air were vegetable, what might it look like?
That's a fascinating question. Clean air often looks clear and bright with no visible haze or smog. On a nice, clean day, the sky tends to be a vibrant blue and you can breathe easily without any irritation. In contrast, polluted air might appear hazy with a kind of murky or greyish tint, and sometimes you might even see smog hanging over a city. Is definitely a striking difference.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how would you describe air using only metaphor?
That's such a creative approach. Using metaphors to describe air can really paint a vivid picture. For instance, air could be compared to a gentle whisper, convey calmness, or it could be like a storm full of energy and intensity. It could also be likened to a painter coloring the world with freshness or heaviness. Metaphors really let us explore the qualities of air in imaginative ways.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is write one sentence that comments air.
Of course, one simple sentence could be, the air is crisp and refreshing as the morning breeze sweeps through the trees. It's a nice, straightforward way to convey the feeling of clean, fresh air.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how emotion does and creating breath evoke compared to stormy winds.
That's a really intriguing question. Emotions and the act of breathing are deeply connected. For example, when we're anxious or stressed, our breathing tends to become shallow and rapid, while calm and relaxed states often lead to slower, deeper breaths. In storytelling, describing breath can mirror a character's emotional state, helping readers feel that connection and immerse themselves in the scene.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does the effect of breathing connect body and mind?
Absolutely. Breathing is a direct bridge between the body and mind. When we focus on our breath, it can help calm the mind, reduce stress, and improve mental clarity. On the flip side, our emotional state can influence our breathing patterns as well. This connection is often used in practices like meditation or yoga to promote overall well-being and harmony.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is where do many meditation practices focus on breathe asset?
Great question. Meditation often focuses on the breath because it helps anchor the mind in the present moment. By paying attention to each inhale and exhale, it calms the nervous system, reduces stress, and improves mindfulness. This focus on breathing helps practitioners cultivate a sense of inner peace and balance.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is how does practical breath influence emotion?
Absolutely. Our breath and emotions are closely intertwined. For instance, when we're anxious or stressed, our breathing tends to become shallow and rapid, which can further heighten those feelings. On the other hand, deep, slow, and mindful breathing can help soothe the nervous system, reduce stress, and foster calmness. In essence, how we breathe can directly influence our emotional state and vice versa.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is what does the last breath symbol in human experience?
That's a really profound question. The last breath can be seen as a deeply symbolic moment reflecting the final transition from life to death. It can evoke a range of emotions such as peace, relief, or even sadness. For women, this moment can carry unique cultural and personal significance influenced by traditions, beliefs, and individual experiences. It's definitely a moment that's both deeply
Okay,
personal and
ChatGPT, next answer.
universal.
My next question is can air friends both refresh and absence? How?
That's a beautiful way to put it. Air and breath are indeed interconnected, as air is the medium that allows us to breathe, and our breath is the direct interaction with the air around us. When we focus on breathing, we become more aware of the air's presence and how vital it is to life. And in moments of absence, when breath is still, it can highlight the preciousness of that connection. It's a truly
Okay,
profound
ChatGPT,
relationship.
next answer. My next question is how does language like air extends human connection?
That's a lovely thought. Much like air, language is all around us and connects people in subtle and profound ways. It flows through our interactions, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and relationships. And just as air can be invisible yet essential, language quietly weaves people together, allowing us to share experiences and build understanding. It's a beautiful parallel.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer. My next question is communication possible without breath? Way or way not?
That's a really intriguing question. In most cases, breath is fundamental to communication, especially for spoken language, since it powers our voice and enables us to produce sound. However, communication can also happen through nonverbal means like body language, sign language, facial expressions, or even written communication, which doesn't rely on breath in the same way. So, while breath is crucial, any forms of communication is not the only pathway.
Okay, ChatGPT, nice answer. My next question is how does the internet or digital web change how we communication?
Absolutely. The internet and digital tools have really transformed communication. They've made it instant, global, and incredibly diverse. We can now connect with people across the world in real time, use multimedia to enhance our messages, and even communicate asynchronously through emails and social media. It's also broadened our ability to share information, collaborate, and build communities in ways that were once unimaginable.
Okay, ChatGPT, next answer. My last question is how we can friends of air remind us to live more commercial of kindly.
That's a wonderful question. Being aware of the air around us can definitely help us live more harmoniously with nature. For instance, by paying attention to the quality of the air, we can make more eco-friendly choices like supporting clean energy, reducing pollution, and promoting green spaces. It also helps us develop a deeper connection with the environment, encouraging mindfulness and a greater appreciation for nature's rhythms. It's all about fostering a more sustainable and mindful lifestyle.
Okay, ChatGPT. तो बस ये थी हमारी आज की ChatGPT। तो उम्मीद है आपको पसंद आएगी। तो मिलते हैं किसी और ChatGPT के साथ। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़। पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद।